So we getting ready to go live on YouTube, y'all. We getting ready to go live on YouTube. Shout out to my people that will be joining us on YouTube. We are now live on YouTube. We are live on X. We're having a space tonight, guys, and in a broadcast, and it's covering the situation going on in both Colorado and Ohio. The situation with the Venezuelan gangs. And we're talking about the Haitian immigrants up there in Ohio as well tonight. We're going to also briefly touch up on the another assassination attempt on Donald Trump. So we look forward to hearing everybody's got to say. The situation, of course, we know about the situation with the Haitians that came. I don't want to say came to light, but it was brought up during the presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Donald Trump made claims about Haitian immigrants up there in Ohio coming in, stealing pets and eating cats and dogs and stuff like that. And then his vice presidential running mate, J.D. Vance, also doubled down on that as well too. So things have just been going crazy since that actual this thing actually came out with a good deal of Haitian immigrants saying that this is bold-faced lies. It's just been made up. And then you had some black then you had some of the people up there, some of the white people up in the actual city saying, yeah, it's true and this and that or whatever. I've seen a number of white people also say it wasn't true as well too. So you have like two sides going back and forth. How this got started, I was surprised that night. We was listening to the actual we actually live streamed. We was actually listening to the presidential debate. And when Trump came up with that, I was just kind of flabbergasted that he actually came up with it, for the simple fact is that he's trying to get him as many new voters as possible. And when he came out and he said that, then, that had to piss off a number of people that people say, you know what, I'm not feeling what you're saying here, Trump. So, that had to piss off a number of people, and people have been talking about it. And people are saying, you know what, this is one reason why Republicans have a hard time getting people outside of their voting block to actually vote Republican. So we're gonna touch up on it. I hope y'all guys have DJ Professor. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys having any issues getting up into space tonight? Let me know if you guys have any connection issues.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Shout out to Newstoter. Share the room, y'all.
Yeah, 1 2 1 2. Share the room, everybody. Newstoter, you sound good on the audio, man. So sounds like everything's okay. I didn't have any trouble coming up in here.
Okay, because I just see people popping in and look like someone was disappearing. So sometimes when you have the people popping in and leaving out, sometimes it's the actual they're having some kind of connection issues. But I'm thinking everything is fine right now. Y'all make sure y'all retweet this space out. Our people will come in when they get a chance to come in or whatever. But we're gonna try to hold it down tonight. We got an interesting topic right here that we're talking about. And like I said, we're going to try to cover two of these topics tonight, man. We or not two, but three of them. Because we just saw the situation go down with Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and cover the Trump situation first. It's a long article, and I ain't reading it all either. I'm going to just go ahead. Everybody knows what happened. They went ahead and got this cat before he actually got a chance to go off or whatever. So, like I said, I'm seeing people pop in and out. That's why I'm wondering if it might not be a connection issue, because I'm seeing people pop in, pop out, or whatever. Sound is in and out. Andre say sound is in and out. Let me
I would just check for updates. I got a lot of major updates through my phone, so check for updates, clear the data, or the cache in the X app. Restart your phone, come back up. That's the only logical option. It's working over here.
Yeah, I don't, I know they say the sound is in and out, but it was an update a couple days ago, guys. So just make sure you check that. But outside of that, I'm not exactly sure what it is. So hopefully everybody can get their phone straight. Because like I said, I see our people popping in, and I see the heads popping out as well too. So
sometimes though, it's just gonna be where people probably forgot to look for the updates 2 days ago, like what you just said. They didn't update those phones or the app 2 days ago. That might be what's causing this issue right now.
Yeah, you're right about that. Let me go ahead, Professor. Shout out to Abdul. I see you over there as well too. See you over there. Shout out to the family over there on YouTube. Y'all make sure if you're on YouTube, y'all go ahead and share this out tonight. We touch up on the Donald Trump situation real good. The Sacramento Observer, one of our curation partners, had the article FBI. Trump survived apparent assassination attempt in West Palm Beach, suspect in custody. Like I said, I'm not going to read this whole thing. It's a pretty long article, and it's another attempt on Trump. Donald Trump was a target. What the FBI said appears to be an attempted assassination at his golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida, on Sunday, just 9 weeks after the Republican presidential nominee survived another attempt on his life. The former president said he was safe and well, and authorities held the man in custody. U.S. Secret Service agents stationed a few holes up from where Trump was playing noticed the muzzle of an AK-style rifle sticking through the shrubbery that lines the course roughly 400 yards away. An agent fired, and the gunman dropped the rifle and fled in the SUV, leaving the firearm behind, along with 2 backpacks, a scope used for aiming, and a GoPro camera. Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw, said the man was later stopped by law enforcement in a neighboring county. It was the latest jarring moment in the campaign year marked by unprecedented upheaval. On July 13, Trump was shot during a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and a bullet grazed his ear. 8 days later, Democratic President Joe Biden withdrew from the race, giving way for Vice President Kamala Harris to become the party's nominee. The man who was detained had a calm, flat demeanor and showed little emotion when was stopped, according to Martin County Sheriff William Snyder. He never asked, "What is this about?" Obviously, law enforcement with long rifles, blue lights, a lot going on. He never questioned it, Snyder said. In the email to supporters, Trump said, "There were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors started spiraling out of control, I wanted you to hear this first. I'm safe and well," he wrote. "Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender." He returned to Mar-a-Lago, his private club in Palm Beach, where he lives, according to a person familiar with Trump's movements, who was not authorized to discuss them publicly and spoke on the condition remaining with this identity being withheld. It was not immediately clear how the development would affect his schedule or campaign dynamics. Trump was set to speak from Florida about cryptocurrency live on Monday night on social media X, and had stops planned Tuesday, Wednesday in Michigan and on New York. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to cover the thing with Trump because we pretty much know another assassination attempt. He's okay. He's alive. Ain't nobody get him or whatever. So yeah, ain't no point in covering this thing about Trump. Somebody else was trying to get him. They stopped him down here. This time it was in Florida. He's okay. He's safe. He's all right. So, ain't no point in really going in about Trump. But what do you guys think about that before we move on? How is what's going on? How y'all feel about the Trump thing and the situation with him?
Right. Well, yeah, you might want to mute your mic on that. So I'll just say this for the sake of saying it. How the hell did the alleged culprit even get that far ahead? You feel what I'm saying? That's the real argument. Like, what was the itinerary, the motives? What they usually call it. What's the word they call that? Not itinerary, but when the killer lead they thoughts manifesto. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? So what's in the manifesto? You know what I mean? So, and then you take this joker in the law. That's the other argument. If he had an AK, a rifle, whatever it is, multiple bullets, he got the GoPro and all this other stuff, he hiding in the bushes to snipe Trump because the Trump security, they go 1 or 2 holes ahead on a golf course just to make sure everything copacetic. So the one security guard, allegedly, for the record, saw the joker and got the dumping on him, and then he ran. You know what I mean? And the eyewitness saw the shooter.
Hey, DJ. Hey, DJ, real quick, hold that thought. I'm going to go ahead because I think it is a connection issue. I'm going to see if I'm going to restart it right back up. I'm going to copy and paste and start this space right back up to see if that may help some of the people stay in the room. So give me 2 minutes and we're going to start it right back up, y'all. All right, everybody on YouTube, you guys, I'm not leaving anywhere. I'm just going to start this up real quick. So we go ahead and get our people up in it because I don't know what was up with the space. It was having some issues with people with the connection and stuff like that. So we'll see if we can go ahead and get this thing working a little bit better this time around. So give me just 1 second. I almost got it up. We about to go ahead and get it because people were just coming in and out like the rapture, just leaving. So let me go ahead and get this thing started up. We got it started back up. Our people should start coming back up in here in a minute. They should start coming back up in here in a minute. So we'll give them a minute to come up in here, get this thing rolling. Don't worry, we're going to cover the main topics tonight. I want to talk about the situation with the Haitians up there in Colorado in Ohio, and the Venezuelans. Talk about the Venezuelans up there in Ohio. So hopefully everybody, I'm hoping, Andre, how is he? Now if it pops in or not this time, and I think it's gonna be just on you guys' phone, that you guys are just gonna have to do something. Hopefully the connection will be straight for some of you. I know people were coming in and coming out, they were popping in, popping out or whatever. So, I don't know if it was an issue with the audio or whatever. So I said, let me go ahead and restart it back up so we can get our people up in here. So hopefully the sound is much clearer this time around. I'm hoping the sound is much clearer this time around, and everything is going to be everything. Okay, I don't know who this is. I don't know who you are. I will see exactly. Okay, they dropped now. I'm not sure who they were, but hopefully, like I said, I don't know. Hopefully everybody's got their phone updated, because if your phone's not updated, you may have some issues tonight. You may have some issues. So let's get our people back up in here. Who knows exactly what the issue was, but hopefully we can get everybody coming back up in here, because I do want to speak on the Haitian thing going up there as well too, and about the eating and this and that or whatever and all this other stuff. So our people a little bit slow coming up in here now, since we just restarted the space. So I'm trying to get them. Okay, Andre, you say it sounds good now. Okay, appreciate that. Andre, definitely go ahead and retweet the space out. Mel, I see you up in here. So I'm assuming you guys were having some issues with the audio before. That's why I just went ahead and decided to go ahead and restart this. Everybody up in here, make sure y'all retweet this out. We can go ahead and get this thing rolling. The way it needs to be. Okay. So I'm assuming everybody is straight coming up in here. DJ said he's restarting his phone. So while DJ's restarting the phone, let me go ahead, y'all, and touch up on this. I'm going to touch up on the Haitian situation, and I'm going to touch up on the Venezuelan gangs. The Venezuelan gangs have kind of, they've kind of taken the backseat to the actual Haitian immigrants up there in Ohio. Like, you don't hear anybody talking about the Venezuelan gangs anymore. But let me touch up on the Haitians migrants, and I'm going to touch up on the Venezuelan gangs up there in Colorado. From the Tennessee Tribune, it says Haitian residents in Springfield, Ohio, respond to being at the center of the immigration debate. This Ohio city is in the middle of a heated political conversation about immigration after President Donald Trump and his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, made claims without evidence about Haitian immigrants causing crime and eating pets. In Springfield, they're eating dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there, Trump said during Tuesday's presidential debate. Early in the day, Vance wrote on social media that it's possible, of course, that all these rumors will turn out to be false, but repeated them on X, formerly Twitter. In the last several weeks, my office has received many inquiries from actual residents of Springfield who have said Haitian migrants abducted their neighbors' pets or local wildlife, Vance posted. Springfield City Manager Brian Heck, through his office, released a statement saying there's no evidence of any cats or other pets being harmed or even eaten by Haitian immigrants. Springfield, a central Ohio city of 58,000, about 50 miles west of Columbus, has experienced a significant housing crisis, according to a letter from Heck. Heck said the city's Haitian population has increased to 15,000 to 20,000 in recent years. So, wow, a lot of Haitians coming up to apparently to Ohio in that city. The population increase has sparked See, I got Professor coming up here. So, Professor, I'm going to make you a co-host. The population increase has sparked local tensions, particularly after a school bus crash that killed an 11-year-old. Misinformation about pets and geese and at least 2.5 million in funding from the state. The chamber reached capacity before a Springfield City Commission meeting Tuesday night as dozens of residents lined up outside the doors hoping to share their thoughts. The USA Today Network, Ohio Bureau spoke to Haitians living in Springfield and other residents about how the city has grown. How do Haitians in Springfield feel? Kind of hard name to spell. Like Elimabi, I'm gonna say Elimabi, 19, graduated from Springfield High School and worked at Amazon warehouse. He moved to Springfield 4 years ago and said he's been called a dirty Haitian and an illegal. He also said he was bemused by rumors that Haitians were shipped to Springfield and the people from Haiti and Springfield are there legally because of the federal program for temporary protected status. The majority of us work in the warehouse factories. You can't work there illegally. Obviously, we're working legally, he said. Pierre, who also immigrated from Haiti and lives in Springfield, agreed. He said Haitians just want to work. Similarly said there's been a lot of wild claims about Haitians in Springfield. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about stuff that's not accurate, saying like all Haitians are cutting duck necks and eating them at the park and like they're running in the trash cans and homes and stuff. I ain't never seen a Haitian do that before. I'm just keeping it real because I'm Haitian myself, he said. What about other Springfield residents? Some residents. Let me see. Professor, I thought I got you up here. Let me go ahead and get you up here. It says some residents feel the city and the county are overwhelmed and wish the Haitian population was eventually dispersed among Ohio counties. Others said Haitians are unfairly scapegoated. Tina Ross says she feels negatively about the increased Haitian population in Springfield and that the city was not prepared. Rose said the city already struggled with housing and homelessness before more Haitians moved. John Vick, a resident of 24 years, agreed. He said groceries and the county services are harder to find now. DeAndre Robinson says she believes the city should be focusing on racism and the hate group that walked around with swastika flags and rifles last month. They see me standing next to a Haitian, and that's too many black faces for them, she said. Joe Ruck, a co-owner of Champion City Cuts Barbershop in Springfield, said the south side of the city has become known as Little Haiti. Ruck grew up in Springfield and said the Haitian immigrants are working the jobs and living in the houses that no one else wanted. He said the Haitian population is easy to pick on, and people in the community say they hate Haitians when they're really frustrated by what an increased population has meant for Springfield with increased rent and house prices and demand for products and food in grocery stores. Who's requesting to come up? Somebody was requesting to come up. Someone said cats come up missing. They're going to say Haitians did it, Ruck said. The Southgate branch of the Clark County Public Library System has Haitian English dictionaries, a French language book section, and a full-time interpreter to assist Haitian people. Branch manager Tangi Heap, manager of the Southgate Library branch, said it used to take library stuff 20 or 30 minutes to help Haitian patrons because of the language barrier. With an interpreter, questions could be answered in a few minutes. She said the library mostly helps people print documents from their phones, use a copy of fax machines and computers if needed. He goes to the Haitian Coalition meetings for Clark County every month. She said the library is beginning to consider programming to better serve Haitian patrons. Everyone deserves respect and dignity, not just from a library standpoint, just being here as a citizen of Clark County and a citizen of Ohio. Just treat everyone with respect and give them some time and they just make lives for themselves, she said. So, Professor, what's up? Trouble, what's up? I know, guys, we've been having some audio issues. Seem like people coming in and coming out. I hope everybody can hear me clearly. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. We got the space going on. We're talking about the Haitian situation up there in Ohio. I touched up on the Trump thing as well, too. I had to go ahead and restart the space up because it seemed like people were having a hard time staying in the space. So I want to go ahead and give everybody an opportunity to stay up in the space. So hopefully, I'm hoping that the audio and everything else is cool and everybody's able to stay up in here with no issues. Professor, go ahead. You got it. Shout out to Trouble. Shout out to Mel. Shout out to Black. Shout out to Andre. Shout out to Original. Dawn, all you, Mary, everybody up in here. Nita, shout out to all you guys. Definitely go ahead and retweet out the room. Let everybody know where we're at because we're going to be touching up on this Venezuelan gang activity as well too. But Professor, go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the room. Let's get this reparations, but let's also get some other tangibles out of these people that owe it to us for real. And we're talking about anti-hate crime bill. We're talking about issues with education. We're talking about all these different issues facing us in America, right? But here's the thing with the Haitians, right? These immigrants that keep flying up over here or shipping over here, whatever they call themselves doing. Hell, take your ass back to your country. Excuse my French. Go back to your country and go over there and fish that dump that's over there and stay out of this country trying to take resources from the American black people and leeching off of us. I really don't care how people view you up there. I don't care how people view you down here in Alabama, because you know the same thing total is going on down here too, Springfield and in Alabama. These are the two places where these Haitians have been dropped off at. The city here in Alabama is Athens, and I think Fairfield and Athens, because white people have been complaining about them here too, in northern part of Alabama. So you got the white people up there, you got the white people down here. Personally, I don't really care that they complain about these folks and saying some of the stuff they're saying, because these folks ought to take themselves back over there. Get out of here, go take care of your homeland over there. And that goes for the rest of these immigrants that's flying up over here. Now, these Venezuelan gangs, same thing here. Because of all this immigration that's flowing up in here, thanks to Biden and Kamala, this is what we're getting. We're getting gangs like MS-13, this Venezuelan gang. I can't even say the name of it, whatever the name of that gang is. But you got all these gangs, these terrorists. We got just all kinds of folks flowing up in here, doing all kinds of stuff. And this is the result of democratic policy. Okay? And so I say we need these people up out of here, man. We need these folks gone. Like, we need them gone like yesterday. As you can see, this is coming to everybody, man. This is not just going to be in the north now. This is not going to be just in California. This is spreading everywhere. Remember what I just said. We got them coming here to Alabama. At one time, we thought we would not see a lot of these folks coming here, right? But they are here. They're coming here. They're coming all over the place now. So we gotta put a stop to this, man. These folks have tore this country up with this immigration stuff, okay? And regarding Trump, I don't know what to say about Trump. Second time somebody took a shot at him, right? But if you notice, what is the commonality, right? The commonality here is white males just trying to take this man out. Right? And what do they say about us, right? They say we are the most violent people in the world, right? Ain't that what they always say? So who's trying to take Trump out again? The very people who look like him. That's right. The very people that be in these spaces talking about we are the violent ones, right? So there you go. That's all I really have to say about it. It's his own people that look like him trying to take him out. But anyway, that's all I have to say about it.
I want to ask you a question. Real quick, Professor. And once you do that, I'm going to go to the Venezuelan thing as well too, about the drug, the gangs up there and stuff as well too. But okay, we started hearing about this stuff, and I know some people may say, "Well, we saw reports of it online and stuff, and this and that or whatever." But we started, this was the first time I heard about this was doing that actual presidential debate. We was live streaming. And then Trump, he made the claim about, the immigrants and the migrants up there, whatever, the Haitians, they were eating this and they were eating that, and they was taking pets and this and that or whatever. What's your personal feeling about Trump bringing that up in the election at the time? And do you feel like he maybe singled out the Haitians more so than he would have singled out any other ethnic minority group, anything else like that? Because you've always heard, people make jokes and stuff about, these Chinese restaurants and the actual ingredients and stuff that go into the Chinese food and everything else. Do you think that he would have singled out any other group in this country that may have migrated, be it a European, be it Asian, be it Latino, or do you think he purposely put the Haitians' name in there? What's your particular feeling about that?
Total, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This man Trump is an equal opportunist racist, but he's also a businessman, right? But he's an equal opportunist racist because if you go back to when he first ran, what did he say? He talked about the Hispanic population running up over here, right? He said they ain't gonna bring their good ones over here. They're gonna send the bad ones over here, the rapists and the gangsters and the criminals. Remember, he said that, right? He was talking about them, the Hispanics. So, and then guess who caped for them, right? It was our people that did the caping, right? We tried to be the heroes for the Hispanics. Talking about, oh shit, Trump, you racist, man, you racist. You shouldn't say that about them. That was us. We took up for these folks, right? Why did we do it? Why? Yeah, that's right. Why did we do it? Because he was actually on the money. He was on the money. He was absolutely correct, and you all know he was correct. So therefore, when you look back to 2020, not 2020, 2016, when he was running, he had a campaign, and he made all these statements about the different groups, right? So therefore, he's an equal opportunist. Total. He didn't just single these Haitians out, man. He said this about all these different groups, man. Remember, he said this about the I think he said something about the African continent, where he said it was like a shit place or something like that. I can't remember that.
Try not to curse, Professor, but go ahead.
But, you know,
he told me it was an asshole. Yeah, he said it.
Yeah, he said that. And see, and remember the thing about when COVID came out, he said that it was a Chinese something or the yellow kung fu or something. So if you listen to the guy, put it all out there for different groups, you know. So my thing on it is, man, I'm glad he brought it up about the Haitians eating the pets, because hell, they are. They are. They eat them. They. I think it was a video out there, Total, of a woman where the police stopped her because they said she had skinned a cat. She stole one of the neighbor's cat, and in this video they was checking her mouth, I think. Well, man, look, you gotta think, man, was that video a lie? I think everybody has seen that video in these spaces. So we just gotta look at it for what it is. And we need these immigrants out of this country. These folks come over here sucking off of us, okay? These folks have been sucking off us for years, and it's because we have been fools, Total. I'm telling you, man, looking back on it, Black Americans have been fools because we have voted for this stuff, man. We did this. What you're seeing in this country is what we did because we kept voting Democratic. We caused this, man. And I really regretted that I ever gave my votes to the Democrats. See, I regret it, Total.
Yep. Professor, we lost you for a second. Hold on. Get you back.
They're making the situation worse for us, man. Because all the groups that are coming in here don't cape for us, see? They don't come in here to help us. Nobody's coming in here to help us to fight off white supremacy, right? They're not coming in here to help us do anything. They're coming in here just to get stuff, take stuff, right? They're not here to do anything to benefit us, right? So they're just going to leech off of us, and we're going to get left out, Total. This is what we're seeing, man. Our people out here are being thrown out of our homes. We're being thrown out of our schools. We're being just dogged out all kinds of ways, man, with these immigrants, man. These guys getting free money up in here. Free money, free housing, all of these tangibles are what we supposed to be benefiting off of. So this is supposed to be coming to us, man, not to these immigrants. It's supposed to be coming to the non-immigrant group. FBA, Black Americans, ADOS, whatever you want to call us. I call us the non-immigrant group. That's the name that I have decided to call these non-immigrant group. We are the group that's supposed to get all of that. So I'm going to land right there.
All right, Professor. Appreciate that. And I'm going to touch up on what's up, Original. I see you up in the speaker section as well, too. I want to touch up on this. We're going to get back to it. Everything, is on topic. We're talking about Trump assassination, but we're definitely talking about the situation with the Haitians and the rumors about the pet eating thing. And we're going to also touch up on the Venezuelan gangs as well, too. Let me go ahead and touch up on that real quick. This article came from Yahoo. It says drugs and death threats, Venezuelan gangs in Colorado. Is Latin American-style gangsterism gaining a foothold in the U.S.? There are troubling signs of it, said Colin Pruitt in The American Conservative. Visiting Texas border with Mexico last year, I found a population under siege, overstretched police, and Mexican cartels smuggling migrants and drugs with impunity. And the problem seems to be spreading. In April, a Native American tribal leader from Montana canceled his plans to testify before Congress, citing death threats from a cartel. In the past fortnight has brought reports of Venezuelan gangs seizing control of an apartment complex in Aurora, a suburb of Denver, Colorado. The brazen nature of the takeover, common in Latin America but unprecedented in the U.S., alarmed local citizens. Videos from residents showed men with semi-automatic weapons barging into apartments. There have been reports of violent assaults, threats of murder, extortion, and child prostitution. Back in April, the U.S. Border Patrol Chief Jesse Owens warned Americans to watch out for the trendy whatever gang, said Luis de Puerto in the Denver Gazette, Venezuela's most powerful criminal organization. It began life as a prison gang a decade ago, but has since spread to other countries in South and Central America and now to the U.S. Oh, wow. So that's great. So now they're over here in the U.S. as well, too. So you got to watch out for these gangs and stuff coming over. It's funny how they let a lot of these Latin gangs come over here and get a stronghold in America and then, just cause hell and stuff like that. Officials acknowledge that the gang is operating in the Denver region, but they claim it isn't a major threat. They've dismissed reports of gangsters seizing control of the apartments as wild exaggerations, insisting there have been merely isolated crimes. A lot of nonsense has been spouted about this, said the Denver Post. Donald Trump claimed that Venezuelans were taking over the whole town. Colorado Republicans claimed their state was under violent attack. Baloney. The fuss was instigated by the owners of an apartment complex who are using gangs as a scapegoat, where the unsanitary, unsafe, and unhealthy conditions a source of bitter complaint among residents. Others have blown the story out of proportion, political reasons, or out of simple anti-immigrant prejudice. The fact is, the Denver region has always had some gang activity. According to the U.S. Justice Department, prominent local gangs include the Bloods, Crips, the Serenos 13, Northside Mafia, and the Gangster Disciples. The addition of this new gang, can't really pronounce their name, to the mix is a dangerous complication, but not the cause for panic. Okay, so you got people saying that, hey, we getting strong on, we getting jacked up here in our apartment complex and this and that, and then you have other people saying, you know what, that this is just they're using this as a scapegoat, basically trying to say that the actual person that owns this apartment complex is nothing more than a slumlord, and he's trying to use immigrants as a cop out, as an excuse, and has anti-immigration sentiment. So this is where we're at right now. We have been hearing reports about these gangs up in Colorado, but it seems like from what the Denver Post is trying to say, well, you know what? It's always been gang activity, and it's really no different than what you already had up here before. So no need to make a fuss about that. I don't know. I don't live up there in Colorado, so I can't tell you firsthand. But like I say, you see videos and stuff online, and you hear people saying this and that or whatever. I'm not entirely sure. It is that would be very interesting if you got the people actually basically Nino Brown style, just going ahead and just taking over actual apartment complexes, Carter style, and setting up shop and just pretty much having their way with people as well too. I got my man Original up here. I got Professor up here. If any of you guys want to go ahead and tackle this, let me know. If you want to speak on it, by all means, go ahead. Tell me what you think. We got, like I said, we got the topics up here. We talking about Trump. of course, you know, and I think everybody's kind of like, hey, okay, well, they just shot at him a couple weeks ago. So, you know, people kind of like, oh, you know, and, you know, I'm not no Trump fan, but of course, I don't want to see the man, you know, be seriously injured. I'm no Trump fan whatsoever, but I want to see him be seriously injured. We also have, you got these gangs up in Colorado. And people saying, hey, you know, you're hearing different sides of it. Some people saying, hey, it's hell up here on wheels. And other people saying, well, this is just an exaggeration. And the same with the situation up there in Ohio with the Haitian migrants coming over there. I saw something on CBS Evening News today, and, you know, they even have a section of it. In the article I read too, they were saying that they almost have like a little Haiti town up there. And I said, damn, I'm like, well, how many Haitians are actually up there? But the article says something like 15 to 20,000 Haitians have moved to Ohio. I didn't even think that, you know, a lot of that Ohio even had a major Haitian or Caribbean population as well too. And this city's only like 58,000. So, you know, are some of these white folks sitting up here saying, you know what, we feel like we've been replaced, and that these people are about on the verge of outnumbering us or something like that? You know, is it a fear tactic as well too? So shout out to Pressure, shout out to you, Black Pressure. I see you just donated on Cash App. We got Original up here, guys. Make sure you go ahead and share this space out tonight. I want to get some good conversation flowing. I see my girl Trouble down there. Hopefully Trouble will bless us and come up to the mic, because I love her commentary. So hopefully we get Trouble. Hopefully we get Mel. Hopefully we get Black Majority say. Hopefully we can get our usuals up here to come on up here and spit. And hopefully, like last time, we had the brother that was in it that was Haitian, and in the last space we had hopefully he'll come up in here as well too. Or anybody, you know, Caribbean. If we got some Venezuelans up in here as well too, and you want to tell us, and you up in the Colorado area, and you want to tell us, hey, you know, this is nonsense. This is just fabricated fake news, as they say. Or, hey, you know what, I'm up in that area and these my people, but this is actually going down. They laying it down. They making people get it how you get it. So go ahead, Original. How you doing tonight?
Hey, 1 second, Toto. I gotta ask you something right quick. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You said something about the Venezuelans being up in here. If there are any Venezuelans up in here, what I would like to ask them, when are y'all gonna get up out of this country? There you go. Sorry about that.
All righty. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, peace, Black Power, and lineage-based preparation. Yeah, this whole thing is kind of like a bizarre world, because the news is trying to tell us that these things are not happening. But then we see stuff like those Venezuelan gangs breaking into apartments with guns. They're coming after people, but they're telling us this is not going on. That's not true. And so, you know, and we all know that we can't trust this news media. You know, and that's interesting. But looking at these Haitians, though, y'all remember? I just found this big Kodak Black. He was in an interview, and he said that he did. His mama told him don't go to Haiti. He said he was scared to go to Haiti. He said because they might eat him. Now he said that. He said, yeah. He said, yeah. I was born here. He said, but I'm Haitian. And then we have to look at the other aspect of this is that these people, just because their skin look like ours, they are not our friends. They are blaming. Now they are trying to blame black folks for what's going on, but it's the white people that started this. But they got smoke for black people, and it's like, okay, well, I guess they thought because they delineated from us, but then when they butts get in trouble, then they want to come running to us for some help. Oh no, you are on your own. See, we tried to treat you like you was part of the family. Y'all didn't want that. And I know the reason they act the way they act, because of the degenerate religion these people operate under. And they believe white folks over us. So whatever, and the white folks have filled their heads with all this, with lies about Black Americans, and they believe this stuff. And so at this point, now that we know what they think of us, it's like, hey, you on your own. out to defend you. I'm not speaking up. Whatever happens to you, that's what happened. You know, and you got a lot of them, for whatever reason, they got this beat, you know, for black folks. Now, but you don't hear them saying anything. They didn't go after Bill and Hillary when they claimed Bill and Hillary stole money from Haiti. They didn't go after Bill and Hillary the way they're coming after black folks. And that's just telling the truth. Why you have a different beef, or why you don't have beef for the white folks that's doing you in, but you want to blame black folks because we're not speaking up for you. You can't have it both ways. You can't tell us you don't like us. You can't tell us that we're lazy and we don't take advantage of opportunities. But yet, when white folks start in on you, all of a sudden you become mute. But you're looking for us to come and defend you. And when we say, "Oh no, you said you wasn't black," that's just like that. What's that girl name that played on the Jamie Foxx show? Now, she claimed to be a proud Haitian. Okay, if you're a proud Haitian, why did you play the role of Bouvier?
Garcelle Bouvier, whatever.
Yeah, Garcelle Bouvier. But if you are a proud Haitian, why did you play the role of a black woman on TV? See, these people are twisted and sick. It is something wrong with them. See, now that they have bitten and chopped off the hand that was helping them, they think we owe them. I don't owe you a damn thing. Go over there and fix Haiti. That's what you need to do. Go over there and fix them. Fix Haiti. Because we're not going to extend anything to you. You've already told us you don't like us, and that's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. Because all these immigrants, whether they're from Africa or parts of the Caribbean or whatever, but because of what white folks have told them, they hate us. And let's not forget, our race scholar, Dr. John Carlos, scholar, athlete, he said that he was born in 1945. And he said he went to high school with this guy named Dennis Dyke. And Dennis would tell him, "I'm not black, I'm Jamaican." See, we would hear stuff like that and just kind of shrug it off and say, well, they don't understand or they don't know. Oh, no, yes, they do. They understand and they know that they don't want nothing to do with black Americans. And that's fine with me. Because I'm not going to lift the finger at the help, because I was listening to a space, and this guy, what's his name, James Weldon Johnson, I think that's his name, the one that wrote Lift Every Voice. Yes, it is true. He was Caribbean. But see, during that time period, those people understood what it meant to have a black united front. These degenerate bastards, they don't have that same concept because they've been brainwashed by white folks. And I'm going to let you continue to suffer from that brainwash because I'm not wasting my time. And like I told you, Newstoter, that Pan-African garbage is dead. I told you about this person. They have a platform, and they've been doing this for over 20 years. They had about 5,000 people following them on YouTube, and it's like, and I saw that Facebook has gone down to like 4,000 and something. But they moved over to Rumble, and they only have 165 people that's following them on Rumble. Pan-Africanism is dead, and I'm not going to do anything to try to resuscitate it, because I'm not going to sit up here and put my energy into a group of people that got beef with black folks, black Americans. I'm like Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson said, "Do not call me an African American," because that says that everything that we did here belongs to Africa. Oh, no, it don't. Because hell, I saw when it came out that Afrobeats had black American influence, them savages went crazy saying, "We ain't got no culture. You didn't influence anything." When Fela Kuti came to America, back in '69. He met with James Brown, and he chopped it up with these people. They said, when you came, because I got the liner notes of that album. When he came, he was playing Black American jazz, but they said they expected something more authentic from him, being that he was from the continent. So he chopped it up with them. When he came here, it was called Afrobeat. But when he left America, because he took from our culture, which they keep trying to tell us that, see, them degenerate broken Africans kept telling black folks that we ain't got no culture. And we kind of went with that. But now we see, well, hell no. What do you think? Aretha Franklin, James Brown, and Otis Redding, and Booker T, and the MGs, and Isaac Hayes, all these groups, what do you think they took around the world? They took Black American culture, and the world loved it. And now they trying to bring this Afrobeat garbage over here, trying to tell us that I ain't giving no damn Afrobeat. I'm not buying it. I'm not listening to it because I don't listen to people that hate me. That's why I don't buy white folks people. You know, and so so it's one of those things. But like I said, if they got beef with us, but you call out Kodak Black, he said y'all might eat him, and I believe they would chop him up and eat him. Maybe think they're gonna get some kind of spiritual awakening or something. And if y'all don't like the way I'm talking, I really don't give a damn. Because I'm not going to sit here and let you attack us without giving you some pushback. And I don't know that they are eating these passing things because now that we see that the media is lying to us, telling us that, remember when the Rodney King situation happened in LA? What did these folks come out and say? You didn't see what you think you saw. That's what they told us. You didn't see what you think you saw. And that's what the media is doing to us around the country now. They telling us we didn't see what we think we saw when we see it. That's why they keep trying to discredit social media. They saying that social racism is getting at the end. Okay, hold up, I'm not finished. Hold up, I'm not finished. Hold up, I am not finished.
Go ahead, Original. His mic is muted. Go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Look, if that racism is getting out of hand, that is not my problem. See, we tried to be friends with y'all, but you didn't want it. And now that you're coming under attack, you are attacking us because we're not speaking up for you. Go after Bill and Hillary and these other white folks that's been attacking you. We didn't attack you, they did. But you want to blame us for your misery. I am not sorry. We are not coming to your rescue. You're not going to treat us like we're not nothing and then think we're going to come and defend you. That's not happening with me. Now, you can get upset with that. I don't give a damn. I really don't. Because we tried this. There was a time when I come up out of that Pan-African garbage. There was a time when I would see a black person, wherever they were from, I would always extend them to them. Today, I don't give a damn. And I don't care who knows it. And let me comment on the other one. Now, Donald Trump. Now, Newstoter, I don't know what to say about this Donald Trump issue. Because when I saw this Newstoter, it was like, when I saw this, I was like, well, they say this guy, he was at the golf course. Now I'm hearing reports that he was there for 12 hours. And so initially, my initial thoughts was, how did this guy know Donald Trump was going to be there? It sounded like Donald Trump had some spies around him. And they may be feeling, now they said, when people started posing that question, now they're saying that that was an unplanned visit to the golf course. And I don't know who's lying, but all I can say is that it is very suspicious that this guy was there at that time. And all of a sudden, now they're making up, when people start raising questions like that, because that was the first question that crossed my mind. How did this guy know Donald Trump was going to be at that place at that time? Unless somebody told him. And then when the stuff started coming out, they start changing the narrative. Because the media that I looked at, none of the media raised that question. And I kept looking like, why did not ask me this question? That's a very relevant question. How did he know to go there on this particular day? And then all of a sudden they say that I don't know if they heard if this alleged witness that took a picture of the car and the license plate, they heard shot, but they just happened to be in that space. They caught a picture of the car and the license plate, and they're saying that the highways got all these license plate readers and stuff, but that's how they caught him.
Hey, original, let me because we got a couple other speakers up here, so let me I'm gonna come right back to you. Appreciate that, original. Also, guys, I forgot to I meant to say condolences to the Jackson family for the loss of Tito Jackson. I saw that earlier today. Tito Jackson passed away at 70 years of age. Many people say that Tito was the inspiration, was the actual one that actually got the Jackson 5 started by playing Joe's guitar. So shout out to the entire Jackson family. I'm definitely sorry to hear about the loss. I had a post earlier today. In the last week, we lost James Earl Jones, Frankie Beverly, and Tito Jackson within a 1 week time frame. So we lost some iconic stars, not only in the Black community, but just worldwide figures as well too, legends. So I just want to go ahead and just say condolences to the Jackson family as well. I see we got 400 up here. We got Black Pressure up here as well too. Did Pressure 400? Would one of you guys like to speak? We're talking about the Haitians. We're talking about Venezuelans. We're talking about the Trump plot or whatever as well too. So if one of y'all want to speak, just go ahead and let me know, and we'll go ahead and let you guys get it in. I guess the brother said they're not going to speak at this moment, but okay. If you guys do want to speak, feel free to come on up here, raise your hand. One thing I want to say too, because I see Black people say, okay, go ahead, Pressure, you got it.
Hey, what's up, Nose?
Hey, what's up now?
Hey, what's up, Black family? I ain't gonna go down the road. Y'all know I'm gonna say this real quick about the Venezuelan gangs. I will say this: they picked the right place to do that. They blessed by God. They picked that place because I'm gonna tell you about where I'm from in Southeast Texas. You know who kill you the fastest? The rednecks, because it's not like Black people will draw a firearm in self-defense. See, them white dudes out here have a gun culture. You come out here talking you're going to take something over and kick those in, the white dudes will kill you before you can blink twice. And I'll mute up and listen.
All right. Appreciate that, Pressure. Let me go ahead and get to go ahead, DJ. You got it.
Nah, I agree with the same thing. Shout out to the room. Make sure y'all share the room out. You already know what time it is. Twitter tripping, man. So at the end of the day, yeah, Haitian and Pat Romans, I don't care what the rumors is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it ain't Black people that's really doing it. Now, we might be nagging on or entertaining and maybe doing some retweeting and liking at our own expense. That's our life, you know what I'm saying? Our phone, you can't tell us Haitians or liberals or Democrats what it is. We can't say. You know what I'm saying? When it's folks that are in Ohio saying that these people are doing this. So, like, where do we go from here? And, hey, hold on. So, with that being said, at the end of the day,
okay. I think
apologies about that. No, apologies about that.
All right.
Yeah, no, apologies about that. My phone can't hear me to do it. So with that being said, hey, look, at the end of the day, nobody cared that it's rumors or whatever the case be. Y'all always wanted to be to yourselves anyway from the moment y'all came to this country in the 80s. So you never assimilated with Black America. You never patronized Black America, Haitians. You never wanted to associate with us in any type of way. I got some Haitian folks that I know how y'all get down. It's not like no shade or anything like that. Just tell the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. So a lot of these folks, Tether Gang, they have never gotten over the whole aspect of the African booty scratching thing. So now that you see this, Trump coming out and saying, well, you know, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, you know what I'm saying? Protect the ducks and the swans, you know what I mean? The internet just went hammer. It ain't even really black people that's like going hammer about it, you know what I'm saying? It's these white MAGA folks that's going in. No, daddy. They going in on the jokes, yo. They, yo, I ain't gonna stunt, I'm laughing because it's funny, yo. Not the situation, but the jokes are, you know what I'm saying? You just making on the woman side, excuse me, just making light of it. That's all it is, though. But at the end of the day, if you got folks over in Ohio, Springfield specifically, or whatever area at the time that's out there, saying that these folks is doing that, and, you know, back to the Venezuelan gang jokers, you caught these fools on a Ring doorbell from a neighbor's camera, and that's going to show you how stupid and bold they are. It don't even matter what the hell was going on because they tried to spin it and saying that the apartment complexes ran down, you know, it need repairs, all this other stuff. Forget all that. Where did y'all get those guns from here? If you came all the way here from Venezuela, you are in another country. You're not allowed to have that pistol because you don't work for law enforcement. So you don't work for any type of source security to need a pistol. And they don't just have pistols. They had AKs, M16s, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, type arm. Regular firearms they had in their hand. I think one of them had a stendo with a switch on it. Yeah, go back and look at that Ring doorbell camera. So at the end of the day, Professor, you right 100%. Get these folks the heck up out of here. What does that look like? Black America? I don't know. But I don't think we have gotten to the point or even understand what it is that how immigration is hurting Black America. That space we did on the 1959 Immigration Act, we need to really go back and spend a block back on that one for sure and find out who was involved in that, even though we know a little bit of everybody had their hands in it. But we need to know which one of our peoples was involved in that because we never had a chance to breathe in this country. Out of any war, you know, you got the Haitians over here still saying, hey, you know, we freed ourselves. You know, we was the first blacks to free ourselves. You sure about that? Because I could have sworn, you know, the Revolutionary War came many years before that. You know what I'm saying? Boston Tea Party. You can add it up. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We can take this back to 1492. We're talking 400 years before 1804. And we still fighting these white folks. And when y'all come here, y'all patronize them white folks and side with them. You don't side with us. You don't get along, go along and get along with us. You come around neighborhoods, you live, you know, become a part of the black culture that you just spin off on your own. That's all these illegals that come here have been doing since the Ellis Island days, since Reconstruction, just coming here feeding and piggybacking off of Black America and uplifting themselves by way of the government. Because I'm keep trying to argue with my elders. Hey, look, this is what's really going on. The government is feeding these people. So don't dare say they come here and pull themselves up out of bootstrap. How is that possible when Jose just got here, but he got a new GMC truck tomorrow? How is that possible? Their kids got all the latest Jordans, iPhones, all this other stuff your kids don't got because you can't afford it because you go to work every day. How is this logical? When we got things like Cities for Action, you know what I mean? Get funding these people, you know what I mean? Office of New America, funding these people. You look up anything that got to do with Immigration Act and asylum, how these folks get all this funding. Let's not forget about the receipts we've been saying, laying around 13,500 EBT. You can't even get 130 from the government, let alone 13,500. You know what I'm saying? The cash balance was $5,000. I can't even get a loan. I got a business with a tax out there. I don't sweat. You know what I mean? So everyone got to go home. There ain't no offense. Wish you well. We're not coming to help. We don't care no more. You know what I'm saying? Because we are the fools. Us right here. You know what I'm saying? This room that have been signed with immigration and immigrants our whole lives and trying to be on accord and be cordial with folks that come in this country only to be disrespected time and time and time again. Time and time and time again, yo. So, white America, I'm glad y'all getting your cars smashed up in Ohio, having accidents, all this other stuff, because the Haitians crashing into your businesses and whoop. Colorado, Aurora, out there in Colorado, or Denver and Aurora, out there in Colorado. I'm glad you get your doors kicked in by these Tren de Aragua. That's how you pronounce it, Professor. Tren de Aragua. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, kick them doors in, Venezuelan homie. You know what I'm saying? And rob everybody. Because at the end of the day, black people been telling y'all, hey, yo, this is how they get down. Some of us didn't even know how these folks even get down in their country. It's new to us because what we're seeing on TV. especially to our folks in the South. Because I get asked this all the time, like, damn, it's really like that up there in New York or Jersey? Like, yes, man. I've been dealing with this majority of my life. And again, we ain't against nobody from the diaspora, but we are against them thugs. Tether gang. I'll land my plane.
All right. I want to ask this to the entire room in here tonight as well, too. Exactly. When we heard this, like I said, in the Donald Trump Kamala Harris debate, this came up. But do you think Donald Trump, and I know he did, and we played that debate that night, so I can't remember everything. But do you think Donald Trump? Do you think Donald Trump should have focused maybe even more on the actual Venezuelan gangs and stuff in Colorado, more so than the actual Haitians up there and in Ohio, since they're saying that these people are violent and they're doing this and they're doing that, and quote unquote, you have people claiming that they hijacking complexes and they're doing this and they're doing that and they're armed, they're just straight up jacking people. Do you think Donald Trump, because he did mention violent people coming across the border and drugs and this and that and stuff like that. But he specifically mentioned the Haitians up there in Ohio. Do you think he should have specifically mentioned how the Venezuelan gangs was taking control in Colorado and this and that? And also, do you think that Black Americans should stand up for Haitians? Do you think Black Americans should have their back? So I want to get what people got to say in here. If we got any other speakers that's down and listening in the section, if we got any Haitians up in here and they want to come up here and speak and share their thoughts on, the topic tonight, feel free to come on up here. We will let you speak. But I want to get personal people.
Let them share the ducks.
Yeah, I want to get people's opinion about this. Shout out to you, Professor. I see that you just donated on PayPal, so shout out to you. But I want to get people's opinion on this. I want to get, what do you think Black Americans should do? Because DJ and Original made a point as well too, and I see some people on, and not all, but I see some people on X saying that Black Americans played a part in this and that or whatever. And people are sitting up here, and you talk about a man that used to be the president of the United States, running for the president of the United States again. Donald Trump sat up here at a debate, and Donald Trump came up with this and said this. Donald Trump was talking about the reports he had seen and this and that or whatever. Let's just get one thing clear right here. This wasn't the Black media. This wasn't the new Black media. It wasn't the old Black media. It wasn't the young Black media that reported this. This was white. This was mainstream white America that reported this. They were the ones that reported this. They were the ones that said this. So it had nothing whatsoever anything to do with Black Americans, whatever beef that Black Americans and Haitians may have or whatever. Black Americans have never used that platform to go ahead and tear the Haitian community down. You've never seen a movie where they vilified Haitians. You've never seen anything like that. You've never seen any Black politicians vilify Haitians or say this about their culture, their diet, their look, anything. So, I don't understand where the thing is coming from. People saying, Black Americans, and like I said, that's not all, but saying, Black Americans, they supporting this and they doing this and that or whatever. I can't say if somebody retweeted something out or whatever. I've seen videos. I've seen stuff on YouTube. I've seen a white guy in Ohio and stuff going and asking questions and stuff about the Haitians and asking Haitians and stuff the questions. So I think we have to be careful that it was not Black Americans that went ahead and spearheaded this. A man that was formerly the president of the United States and running for president again, and a man a lot of people think has a realistic shot of winning and becoming president again, he said this stuff. Trump put this stuff out here. For those who didn't even know about the reports coming out of Ohio, because most people didn't, he started mentioning that. He started directly labeling the Haitians were doing this, the Haitians are doing that, the Haitians are doing this. So we can't sit up here and say that it was Black Americans. Black Americans had no part to do with this whatsoever. I've heard, I live in Florida, born and raised in Florida. I've heard all kind of stuff over the years. And I've never tweeted anything out or said anything or made any kind of disparaging remark, about Haitian Americans or Caribbean Americans, period. So I don't like people sitting here saying that, Black people were like, no, it was not Black people. And it was not even the Black media that was putting this out as well, too. This was solely, this was the white media. And if you want to say some members of the Republican Party, because Trump is a Republican, and this is another issue that people have. Trump and them are trying to actually gain support and everything else like that. why would you mention this at a debate? Why would you sit up here and say this at a debate if you're trying to actually get a wider appeal of people to vote for you and stuff like that as well too? I don't know. I don't understand why he said that at that time, even if he felt it or whatever. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, there are all kind of groups of people that's coming in this country. I see videos all the time, and I've seen it on Twitter up here, that they've got people up there in New York sitting on the side of the road eating rats and all kind of stuff, frying them up and everything else like that. Those people ain't Haitians. So I didn't see him sitting up there mentioning that on his debate that night. He was sitting up there talking about, well, we got Colombians or we got Latinos sitting up here cooking sewer rats and stuff like that. So that's the issue I'm trying to figure out. Like, man, if you're trying to get a wider appeal, and then a lot of people say, well, Republicans are, they need to reach out to other groups and this and that or whatever. That kind of like knocks any chance of that. You're still going to get a certain amount of people that's going to vote for you outside of your main white base that you have. But man, like, you're not doing yourself any favors by that. Like, I just didn't understand in terms of like a political strategy, if you're trying to actually win or whatever. I don't know why, if you're actually trying to win and this thing is shaping up like it could be a close race. I still believe he's going to beat Kamala Harris, but I believe you never know. And when you're talking about elections, you never know how legit they're going to be either. Why would you do something like this? Why not just sit back, wait? You're already making a case against immigration and everything coming across the border and this and that or whatever. But then you purposely put it out there and said this about the Haitians, but you're not saying this about the other groups. You got people in your own community, and it ain't just Jeffrey Dahmer, Trump, that be sitting up here eating human flesh. Y'all not mentioning that. So come on, like, I mean, that's the part I don't understand. Is like, for every step that you think that like this man may be taking forward, he takes 2 steps back. Like, to me, it just that and that was one of the biggest talking points from the actual night. Not your policy and what you plan to do and how you plan on stopping illegal immigrants coming here and everything else like that. You set up here with this thing right here now. Like, this is the talking point. This is the major talking point from that actual debate, when you should have been attacking Kamala Harris on policy and her record and the Biden administration record and everything else. And you could have mentioned if you wanted to target and talk about if you want to target and talk about certain groups or whatever, you could have started looking at arrest records for there's all kind of people coming across the border committing crimes and stuff like that. This person was arrested. That person, you could have been mentioning stuff like that. But I just don't know. I don't think that was to me a smart strategy for somebody that has ambitions on being, the president of the United States. Again, I don't understand why you would go that route when you didn't even have to go that route. But that's just me. Go ahead, DJ Professor. Y'all got it.
I'll take it real quick just to be quick with it.
Well, let Black Pressure go real quick because he's always quick. Let Black Pressure go first.
I'm sorry, Mills. I was going to say real quick, I'm actually lifting weights and listening to the room, but Donald Trump can say that, it's like Malcolm X said, because white people are 70% of the population. Black people are 13. So, like I said, like Malcolm X said, if every black person that was in America voted and only 40% of white people voted, that our vote wouldn't matter. So he can get away with saying that strictly because of the number advantage that they hold.
Yeah, but Pressure, real quick before you go, I know you're getting your workout on, but do you think that's smart policy? I'm listening
to it. I'm working out in my house, so I'm listening.
Do you think that's smart politically to bring that up like that, though? Because I know, and we got a comment on YouTube. Tasha D says he didn't call out any group by name. He was speaking for all illegal immigration. He gave an example, and people found out later which group he was talking about. But if I'm not wrong, he did mention the Haitians by name on during that debate. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he?
Of course, that's who he was talking. He didn't even have to say. Of course, that's who he was talking about.
All right, but I mean, I know he was talking about him, but I thought he specifically actually mentioned him by name as well too.
I was going to say the same thing. I don't think he specifically said the Haitians. He just, Trump whole thing is the migrants that they doing whatever they doing. You know what I'm saying? So I never really heard him call out a specific group, and he has called out. You know, he from New York City. Trump, man, he said, yo, New York City's a dump now because of the migrant situation. Eric Adams, you're a failure. All this other stuff. Yeah, follow Trump, man.
All right. Go ahead, Professor. Then we're going to get to the new speakers up here.
Yeah, it's like this, Total. Trump, if I remember correctly, in the debate, he basically just left it at migrants, and he said migrants that are eating the geese and eating the ducks and stuff like that, and the cats and dogs. Which, technically speaking, there are other migrants that are doing all kinds of stuff up there in New York, selling cats and dogs out on the streets. Yeah, they doing that too. That's right. So it's all of them, man. And the point of emphasis here, Total, is we need all of these folks up out of here. If it's the Haitians, those Asians up there, those Venezuelans, the whatever they call themselves, all of them just need to get up out of here. That's what we need. Look at the streets of America, man. Look like third world. You got people selling stuff all out on the streets and out of shopping carts. I mean, have you seen those videos? People selling stuff out of shopping carts, man. We don't even know if this stuff clean. And nobody's approaching them and putting them in jail behind selling this stuff out on the streets. See, they're getting away with all this stuff, man. But see, can you get away with it, though? See, if you was to go out there, exactly. If you told them was to go out there right now and selling something out of a shopping cart, you would be put in jail. They might even shoot you. Because we have seen our Black American people get shot for selling a cigarette out on the streets, right? Shout out to the family of Eric Gardner. Do y'all remember that? That one family? See what I'm talking about? Now, we got shot. One of our brothers got shot for selling a cigarette or selling cigarettes out on the streets, right?
Just to correct you on that, yeah, he wasn't selling anything. That was an accusation, allegedly, too.
Oh, okay, that was an accusation. Okay, right.
No, not really, because that's what they tried to spin it as.
Yeah.
Because he might have been the Lucy dude on the block. Remember, everybody had a Lucy man in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? But he lost his life for breaking up a fight. He ain't even had nothing to do with it. You feel what I'm saying? Then, just to add in real quick, you know, all the stress that put on his family, his eldest daughter, I can't think of her first name though, but you know, she wound up passing away maybe about 3 years after her father did, yo. So that's 2 for 1 right there, white supremacy court. See that?
That's right. I want to say his daughter's name was Erica, which was named after him.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Her name was Erica. She was named after him. But here's the thing, y'all. See what I'm talking about? How all of this impacts us. We get shot in the streets of America just for selling, like, accusation, selling some type of cigarette, or maybe even trying to sell some lemonade. Like the little black girl that was selling lemonade out there in California. Some Karen.
I got a person for you that you can actually quote what you're trying to say on Alton Sterling.
Yes, there you go. Alton Sterling, there you go. See.
Hey, Professor, real quick, let me get to the hands, and then I'm gonna come back to you. Let me get the trouble them,
Okay.
and then we'll come right back to you guys. If I thought he may have mentioned the Haitians by name, so I apologize if he did, but I thought he said them, but maybe he just said the migrants and the immigrants. So, but let me go ahead and get.
You gotta go back and watch the debate. He might. It's a possibility. We didn't hear it. You see what I'm saying, Doug?
Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and get to Miss Trouble. I got the Great, and I got Puck the Tethers. Trouble, what's going on tonight with you? How you doing, sweetie?
Hey, Newstoter. Shout out Black family. I'm doing all right. Hope everybody else is doing well. Just getting up in the house, so I'm finally able to talk. I was riding with somebody that kept playing music, so I couldn't hear all of the space. But I just jumped in just to say that it doesn't matter whether Donald Trump called out the Haitians specifically or not. We all know who he was talking about. Let's not pretend that we don't know. When these folks get up on these stages and they start talking about the migrants and the immigrants and who they find to be degenerate, that they're not talking about the ones that are chocolate covered, melanated. They aren't talking about the white ones. When we had the Venezuelan problem with the migrants up there going on, and what did Donald Trump do when it was his turn to speak before these debates? he got up there laying his plan out to give college tuition and assistance to these migrants. But then here comes the debates and now the conversation with Haitians, cats and dogs and whatever else they got going on, the ducks and the bucks and the whatever. And now he's mentioning that. Trump has, his base wasn't very happy with him after he came out talking about giving the immigrants, college funds and subsidy set asides and carrying it on. They were hot about that. So what does he do? He has to revert back to his old talking points. So they like that old salty talk. So he needed a situation that was going to allow him to revert back to what they loved about him when he first came into, winning the office to begin with. In the beginning, he came out with their rapists, their this, their that. He was talking about the Mexicans then. Well, he didn't have that to go on this time because now he's going to give them college degrees and shit. Good stuff. So this time, just so happened he was blessed with news stories of the Haitians eating things that wasn't the things that we eat. So he utilized that. So I don't care what people say. I mean, we all have our different opinions. That's just my opinion. And we can feel differently about it, but I feel like he's pandering to his base, and as per usual, he's using brown, black faces to do it. So that's just how I feel about that. The Venezuelan gangs, well, they over here running ramshot, and I feel like our government is taking a blind eye. There was a report that just came out that says Venezuelan, compensated some guns and weapons and some Americans along the way over there for trying to disrupt their nation. I feel like right now this government is washing their governments. It's a game right now that they're playing. We're gonna let some of y'all people over, let some of ours over. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something really to kind of keep your eye on. They're not here for no reason. And the biggest problem with these random groups of immigrants being here is that they're in our communities. They're not sending them to the white communities. They're sending them to the poorest communities. And so I heard something, I don't know if somebody was saying it or if it was a report that was being read, as far as many of them inside of one time use lack of resource, already dealing with a lack. I've noticed in my own communities, over the course of the last several years, like maybe even the last 3 years, but even more so much heightened this year in particular for some reason. The grocery stores in my area, I mean, they've already shut down 2 grocery stores, so we technically have like one about a mile away, one about 2 miles away, and the rest you got to ride out to get to them. And every time I go to the grocery store, if you don't get there when the truck comes, y'all know when the truck comes. So I'm there bright and early when the truck comes. I'm waiting on that bad boy to come out. Well, I'm coming later on that evening or early the next morning to make sure, because they're going to take a minute to put that stuff up. You better get there as soon as that stuff comes in and get what you're going to get, because the Mexicans come out at night. The freaks come out at night. The Mexicans come out at night, and they're coming to get that stuff. And if you're not quick on your feet, you're gonna be left with what's left over, which is barely nothing. I went to the Family Dollars one day last week, and I was heated, and I was talking to the manager because I'm mad cool with all the managers in these businesses over here. But she was like, the not only did the truck not come, but the little stuff she did, she was like, those people just rolled in and just ransacked her store. She was like, they just came and was buying everything. She had to let them know, you can't buy in bulk over here. You can't come over here and get 5 rolls of the 24 rolls of toilet paper. You can't do it. And she's been telling them that since COVID came in. But even after COVID let up, she still got to tell these people, you can't come over here and buy 24 rolls of toilet paper, because I got other customers that's coming in here to get it. But they so strapped with cash that they could shop like that, and they're still doing it. So there's a lot really to be discussed when it comes to it. I'm not going to sit back and worry about the Haitians sitting back eating the whatever the hell it is that they eat. Some people said the report with the lady was erroneous. They were saying that she was a Black American woman. I told them to show me proof that she's a Black American. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. there's so many other things that really does matter, and maybe it doesn't matter to me because I don't have a Haitian sitting in my yard eating my cat. Now, if I did, it would be a problem. It would matter, so I'm not going to make slight of it. But, you know, just right now, it just seems like, are we being fed the truth? Or are we being fed some type of psyops type of thing just to get us all riled up against the melanated immigrants who looks like more closer to us than the Venezuelans? Because the focus now is on the Haitians and not the Venezuelans, when those are the MF problem, as per the cities that they've been in. So I don't know. That's why I really haven't joined a lot of these conversations. I just want to observe and see what's going on, because our media is a mug, is an MFer, and they have the ability to make things seem like what they're not. And they've done a good and diligent job of doing it. And so I'm tired of trying to figure out who cloned Tyrone. And so I think it would be in all of our best interest to really just kind of step back and see if this is a media game or if these things are really taking place. You know, and I'll land right there. Thanks for letting me grab the mic, Toter. Hope everybody's booked again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Trouble, for coming up here. And that's what I'm saying too. Like the white media came up with this report, and then now somehow it's black people. It's like it's black people's fault. Like what they can come and invent a story and then deflect and put the damn blame on us. And then the people that they're talking about, you got a bunch of Haitian people looking at us like, well, why y'all said this and said that? Like, whoa, wait a minute. We didn't say anything. I've never even been to Ohio before. There's not any sources that I got from Newstoter sitting up here talking about it. Even though the article I read tonight, that article didn't mention anything about Haitians actually eating it. It was talking about the accusations and everything else like that. So no, we had nothing whatsoever to do with this right here. I don't know why people keep trying to put that blame on us and stuff like that as well too. But thank you, Trouble, for coming up here. It was great to hear one of our sisters come up here too, and hopefully we can get a couple more of our sisters come up here as well too. Let me get to the great Top Rank. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's going on, Newstoter? What's going on, family?
What's up now?
Honestly, I'm getting to the point where we just need to be adults and get out our emotions. Because I really feel like all this is just to rile us up so we can put on the Captain Saber brown person cape. Because that's what we do. We are the guarders of the melanated race. We fight for everybody and everybody that's adjacent to us. And at some point we gotta stop that. This delineation is erupting everybody, and people don't know what to do, white or black. And that's a good thing. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with it. Like Tariq said a couple of days ago, everybody gotta hold their own nuts now. It's time for that. It's time for us to put on big boy pants and come together as our separate groups. And once we come together and get that straight, then we can come together as one big Negro, as the white people look at us at times. Because at the end of the day, they separate themselves too. You know what I'm saying? They categorize they different white people. So we should do the same. Just like SA, they categorize they different Spanish-speaking people from light to dark. So we just need to be more mature when it comes down to politics and take out all the dog whistles that they want us to fall victim to, because we doing exactly what Trump did. Falling for all the bait, and we caught it. And now we fighting amongst ourselves instead of focusing on continuing on the delineation and consolidation of what's really ours and what's really everybody else's. Because regardless of the fact, if we do put on the cape and say them and defend their honor as Haitians, after this done, they gonna do like everybody else and say they not black. So why continue on to fight for people to be black and they don't want to be black in America? And we still gonna get the shit end of the stick and still get treated.
Try not to curse, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, I apologize for that. But yeah, we still gonna get treated, you know what I'm saying, foul. And just like the white people feel like the small hats are trying to replace them, we gotta understand that we being replaced too. by immigrants. All different nations that's already been here that fought for their little standing to be here or being replaced by they tellers from other lands. And we just gotta understand this is America versus everybody else right now. But I land there.
All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming up here tonight. Let me go ahead and get to Puck the Tethers. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I think he brought that up because he was strategic. Ohio's been a swing state since the 80s, and he's trying to shave off some of that independent white vote. We're a month out, and anything could change the way they're going to vote. There's two things white people love more than anything: guns and their pets. So I know it sounds very, it sounds like it couldn't work, but anything, like if he could flip that and flip Ohio based off of, just a simple rumor and grab those independents, it was very strategic because I thought it was such a weird thing to bring up until I sat back and thought about why he would do that and specifically talk about Ohio. He wants to flip Ohio towards him. So that's just my take on it.
Thank you. And that makes sense what you're saying as well, too, like the guns and the pets, because, oh, Lord, you mess around and do a pet wrong in this country, they'll go ahead and give you more time than they will for killing a black person. So let you do something to a dog or something like that and see how much time they give you as compared to you doing something to a black person. But you made you definitely made sense right there, because we listened to the debate that night, and when people started talking about the immigrants, you thinking people they talk about criminal migrants coming over, immigrants, you thinking people gonna be talking about they smuggling drugs over here, they gang activity, human trafficking, all this kind of stuff. And then they started talking about they eating the pets, and I'm like, the pets, they eating the dogs and cats, and then they even had the nerve to throw in the Canadian geese in there. I'm like, the Canadian geese. Out of all of the animals y'all put in there, the Canadian geese. I'm like, what are you talking about right here? The Canadian geese. So I'm like, oh my God. Now we just getting ridiculous. Like, people.
Ohio, you're gonna know why.
Well, we got Canadian geese that came here to North Florida for the past 15 years, and these jokers ain't never left. All they do is crap everywhere and everything else. I wish they get the hell up out of here. So if he's talking about the Canadian geese, I didn't feel the least bit. So what? I mean, I would prefer them go ahead and get an actual Canadian geese and a cat or a dog. We eat chicken. It's a bunch of people eat duck. You got a bunch of people eat quails and all kind of game birds and stuff like that. So if they took a Canadian geese and they snapped his neck, oh, well, I mean, I'm just being real with you on that. I mean, it's not going to hurt my feeling the least, but I would rather that than the cat and dog stuff that they was talking about. But they just started throwing to Canadian geese and this and that. Like, I know that Canadian geese, I believe, may be protected animals, but okay, whatever you talking about, man. Like I said, to me, like Trouble said, to me, the Venezuelan gangs up there, and they talking about carjacking, apartment jacking, just this and that or whatever. You thought that would have been the main thing that they actually touched up on, but I get what everybody's saying in the space as well too. I see Rella tried to request up here, but she must have dropped down. I don't know if you get a chance to come back up here, Rella. We'll get you up here, but I was just kind of thrown off about the whole thing about the damn Canadian geese, but whatever.
Told her I ain't mad at you about them geese. Look, every time I have to go up to my kids' school and they got these geese just running around and they be stopping me when I'm driving, I'm trying to hurry up and get in line. I be sitting there thinking to myself, because I really want to hit a couple of these little suckers right now. So if they came and ate a couple of them, I ain't mad at them. Come and get them, because they be all over the place doing foolishness. Like,
I'm calling Peter on you. I'm calling Peter.
Yeah, they'd be all over the place, crapping everywhere. I remember my boys played soccer, and you couldn't even walk out there on the field. He's out there just everywhere you walk there was just crap everywhere out there. So I ain't the least bit like them Canadian geese that migrated here and never left Florida and call it home. They can go back up north. They can leave as far as I'm concerned. And if somebody do them up and make a meal out of them, like I said, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings in the least bit. I'm just being honest. Pressure, go ahead. I don't want one. I'm sorry. I don't want that. Just being real. I'll stick to the chicken and the turkey and maybe the Cornish hens and quail, something like that. But you can keep the geese and you can keep. I don't like duck either. I don't like duck. I think my grandma made duck one time or whatever. I I try a little piece of that. I don't like duck either. So you can keep all of that. Let me go ahead and get the Pressure. Pressure, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, News, check this out. If you kind of look at it from a different point of vantage, if you look at Haiti, from like, if you look a cultural point of vantage, look at their folklore, even popular culture, so how they're looked at outside of their own nation. You know what Haiti is known for, and it's been documented, by Haitians themselves, by the mass media, by Hollywood. You crying about eating cats and dogs. It's like, bro, you zombify people. You make voodoo dolls and try to harm people. You put spells on people. You got shrunken heads. And you crying about cats and dogs. I promise you, I would rather be known for consuming domestic pets than a culture of voodoo. I really would. If you really peel the layers back and examine that, I'd rather be known for that than voodoo. But I'll mute up and listen.
Now, Pressure, and what's called a civilized world, that if you're eating certain animals, if you're eating cats and dogs, and people are going to sit up here and they're going to look at you as being almost some kind of savage. I mean, just being real. A few years ago,
you ever seen how the process that this is them? You can YouTube this.
I'm just saying though, but I'm just being honest. A few years ago, I believe they had the Winter Olympics somewhere over there in Asia, I believe. I cannot remember what country. Y'all Google it. It was the Winter Olympics some years ago. It was in Asia, but they told the restaurant owners over there, because they had dogs and stuff on the menu. They told them, like, hey, y'all get rid of that stuff off of the menu. No. We don't want the Western world. We don't want the outside world coming here. Because even over there in Asia, where that stuff was considered once a delicacy, they're trying to move away from that. Because people, they look at it as being primitive. Like they said, that's why they said pets. Okay, a dog and a cat is considered nothing but a pet to most people. Even though some people say, hey, you know what? This thing got 4 legs, just like that cow out there. Y'all make a hamburger out of him. The people in India, they see the cow as this sacred deity or whatever. They're not going to do anything. They see rats as this and that. Some of these cultures will say, look what? That sewer rat that's floating around, I'm hungry. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grill them up and cook them up. But people see that when you say cats and dogs, people are like, oh, my God, like they're so barbaric. They're so this, they're so that. So that's the only thing when you said about the voodoo, like, yeah, we know that they that a large part of people in the Caribbean too. And let's not just tie it to let's just not tie it to Haiti, because over there in Puerto Rico, they got their form, in Latin America, they have their form of voodoo and everything.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it.
That's Santa something. It's a Santa something. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah. So it's just like when people start talking about Santeria. Yeah. So when people start talking about you eating dogs and cats like that, people looking at you like, damn, you're savage. That's what they're looking at you as. So that's
in those Asian restaurants, I would prefer that they keep that on the menu so I can know when to walk out, and I can read it and say, oh yeah, well, I'm out of here.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't eaten at an Asian restaurant over 5 years. I hadn't eaten.
I ain't planning to ever go back.
Me neither. I'm not so I mean, if anybody in here wants to eat it, that's up to them. But I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do. But I can tell you that I'm not eating it. Go ahead, Trouble. You got it.
Hey, Tony, could you drop me real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say all cultures from different parts of this world have some type of weird delicacies that they eat that we don't eat over here in the United States. And then there's the aspect of when you're talking about countries like Haiti and other countries that are relatively poor and destitute in a lot of their areas. I mean, to a certain degree, what is it when you're hungry, you eat what the hell you have to eat. And if that's a dog, if that's a cat, if that's a bush meat, a rat or whatever, you do what you have to do. We over here look at it differently because we haven't had to have that experience. That hasn't had to be our reality in the time in which we're growing up. in which we're living. I remember seeing something on television some years ago about this restaurant. I don't know if this was in Australia, but they was literally brought a monkey to the table. He was alive, and they put this thing around his neck so that the head was sitting up at the table, and they took this small hammer and they hit it over the head and killed the monkey on the spot, but opened up his brain so that they could eat it immediately. And they called that a delicacy, and it was supposed to.
I'm sorry, Tro. I was like that. That's like that scene that was on Indiana Jones. But go ahead.
Yeah, but it was a very expensive delicacy, and so these people, white people, are sitting at this table when they in their good Sunday clothes, eating monkey brains, and they paid a lot of money to eat it, to have it killed at the table, because it tastes better when it's fresh. You know, you got to eat it when it's fresh. So, I'm not going to, that's why I said I feel a little bit of some ways about the whole conversation, because, you really kind of got to look at the nuances and look at it. Our country is doing some weird stuff. You bring 20,000 people over here from one particular culture and then drop them dead smack in the in the middle of black America, or wherever you drop them at, is going to be a lot of cultural differences, a lot of cultural, I'll just say differences. And so they bring with them what they've known from their own homelands. I don't know if they're getting the resources and benefits that they've given these Venezuelans and other nations of immigrants that they bring here, because to me, they have us focusing on a certain group of immigrants while they're not talking about the other groups who are coming here en masse, like the Russians, like the Ukrainians, like the Europeans. And we got to remember, we always got to keep in mind, the white man is the original immigrant over in this mug. When it comes to voodoo, a lot of cultures do voodoo. The one thing that's concerning to me is what I heard in the space the other night, when it was said that some Haitian people had told this particular person who was talking about it, that they were digging up our Black American ancestors to do their voodoo. That I don't like, but I'm going to keep it 100% a buck, because I know what I got floating through my family. We got our own set of voodoo here in the United States. We got roots. We got root doctors. You get a root put on you in a heartbeat, you come down in the South messing around, playing around, and you know what time it is. I've got plenty of folks in my family, or had, because a lot of them have died off, that did that root work. There's been plenty of them in my family that'll tell you, when you done had somebody put roots on you, you need to take off all your clothes back and put them in the washing machine with a little bit of salt. I got plenty of them now that'll come there, you got a problem? Oh, okay, let me help you out. I'm going to walk around your house and pour a box of salt up, pour some cayenne pepper or whatever it is that they do. That's real fun. I know plenty of people now that go to the graveyards and talk to the dead so they can get the numbers on Sunday, so they can, get that lottery. You pay for it. I've always been taught that you don't mess with roots, because you pay for it. You might not pay for it right then, but you pay for it at some point in time. But we're not going to pretend like this is something that is specifically beholden by the Haitians, because it's not. It's something that's universal across these lands. Everybody knows.
See, look, trouble, and with us, of course, we probably close to the same age. I've heard that all my life. But you know what? Here it's frowned upon. It's not our culture. And I'm talking, speak to the old folks. They would tell you to stay away from people that did that. Say, no, we don't go around that. She put roots on people and all that stuff. It's frowned on over there. That's their culture. That's like, you come to Black Coach, we got rims and 412s in the trunk. That's actually their culture. They're proud of that over there.
Right. But at the same time, we could say that it's frowned upon, because as far as speaking on it socially, it's frowned upon. But I know a lot of people who speak on it socially who frowns upon it, but when they run into a situation and they need a little something for the root doctors, they run right to the root doctor without telling the next man that they done ran to the root doctor. So it's frowned upon when talking about socially, because ain't nobody gonna come straight out in our culture and tell you, yeah, girl, I went and put roots on that thing, and that's why you still coming back through. Yeah, child, I got that condom up under the pillow that, you know what I'm saying? That's why he keep coming back through. They're not going to tell you what it is they doing that keep him coming around. I'm going to tell you there's a lot of little tricks and trades out there, too. They ain't going to tell you what they bury up in their yard to keep them coming around. When they come
hey, Trouble, I'm going to go to one. I'm going to go to one that know how to do it, and I'm going to say, hey, I got an issue. I need you to put roots on white supremacy. Get rid of them. Appreciate how much it costs. Okay, I got the money.
Hey, I know plenty of people who done went and had the roof doctor.
That's right, Trouble with that one.
I know plenty of people that done went and had the roof doctor show up in court with them so that the judge can be confused. We're playing with it. Don't play with it. So what I'm just basically saying is, yeah, everybody's level of voodooism is different from the next, maybe. Well, this culture is proud of it because in their minds it served their purpose when they needed it to serve their purpose against what it was that they was dealing with way back in those days of when they was dealing with it. And so they continued the culture of doing it. A lot of us are the ones that have gotten, away from doing it. And maybe if we get back into doing it, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we can trip these white supremacy up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can, I'm just saying. I don't play with it like that because I've been taught not to play with it like that, not to trust it.
I don't mess with it at all.
You don't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? But there's all different forms of root work in our culture that's not necessarily something that is bad, but maybe you going to have your palms read. Maybe you going to speak to somebody so they could tell you that's a form of root work. You call it whatever you want to call it, but that's a form of root work. So I'm just saying, I ain't trying to justify it, but what I'm saying is it's a cultural experience in various cultures, so I'm not going to malign the Haitians with what they do and what they are proud of. If they're proud of, hey, you love it, I like it. You know what I'm saying? From a goddamn distance. That's all.
And let me add to what you just said too, Trouble, when you're saying a bunch of people practice it. Let's not forget that white folks practice it as well too, with their seances and the Ouija boards and all the other stuff as well too, and those cauldrons and everything, those witches cauldrons they had in Europe and stuff. Let's not act like they didn't practice this stuff for thousands of years of sorcery, and because a lot of people will talk about, they'll tell you straight up that those movies like Harry Potter and some of those movies like that, even growing up, yeah, I tell you that stuff there like borders on the line of witchcraft and everything else as well too. So like you said, a number of people practice it. I don't practice it. And like you say, we were always brought up with like, hey, you know what? Don't read your palm. Don't ask for the future. Don't do this. Don't do that. They was even talking about the tarot cards. They was talking about your birth sign, all that kind of stuff. Like we had some real like, hey, no, don't do this, don't do that, or whatever. You don't communicate. They say if you communicate with don't communicate with no dead people, anything like that. So I stay away from it, But like you say, it's part of people's their culture and stuff like that. I leave it right there. I leave it over there. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I don't. And I know, like you said.
Hey, but let me ask you something for real, and I'm just gonna take 10 seconds. You can make an argument that when white people, delved into the black arts, or you want to black magic, whatever you want to call it, theirs was successful. Because when you look at whatever, like in Africa, they say it was voodoo, and then in the Western world, because of the language differences, they called it voodoo. When the white people did theirs, they ruled the world. When we did ours, we was in the guts of a slave ship. So I'll mute up and listen.
Well, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is too that it wasn't that, and that's what people say about religion. It wasn't so much the religion; it was more so that, hey, these people came in there, they had a game plan, they had weapons, and they knew how to divide and conquer. And that's what really, more so than anything, whether you want to say Christianity, Islam, voodoo, or whatever, hey, at the end of the day, they were making moves and stuff like that went beyond religion, because a lot of these people that be talking about religion and stuff, we know that. People talk about how much of a Christian nation America is, and we know that's nonsense. America wasn't founded on Christianity, because if it was, and black people would never been slaves here, and they never would have they would never got the kind of treatment they got afterwards once they became free people as well too. So that, you know, when people talk, this is a Christian nation, this is a Christian nation, and get pissed when you tell them like, well, no, it's not a Christian nation, because if it was a Christian nation, the fact that we asking for reparations and y'all sitting up here, you know, twisting your eyes and rolling your eyes and stuff like that and telling us this and that or whatever, you sit up here and say, you know what, as a Christian, you're right. All of the stuff we did to your people, all of the wealth we took away, everything else, Jesus would have a problem with that. God would have a problem with that. You know what? We're going to set y'all right. We're going to go ahead and we're going to repair your entire community. But, you know, they don't do that. So you can sit up here and they can sit up here and cry about, well, Christianity should be taught in school and this and that or whatever. Yeah, right. That's just people talking out of you know what?
Christianity, if you really juxtapose it to all other religions, Christianity is the most bloodthirsty religion that man ever invented. And you could just look at the bloodshed from century to century in the name of Christ, God, and Christianity. It is literally, and Islam right behind it, but it's literally the most bloodthirsty religion man ever created.
Well, you got a point. If you take all the major religions in the world, and I'm talking about Christianity, Islam, Judaism, you take Hinduism, Buddhism, and all that other stuff, you probably talk about in the last 1,000 years, 1 billion people probably been killed, or close to 1 billion people in the name of all of these religions and stuff like that, if we're being real. My girl Rella dropped down. So Rella, I'm sorry, I was going to get to you, but I see you dropped down. So if you get a chance to come back up here, come on up here. I'll try to get you up here. We ain't gonna go too much longer, but yeah, you know, anybody else that wants to speak as well too, we gonna try to get y'all in before we close the space out. I know we kind of drifted all up because we was talking about, we went from talking about, you know, what the Haitian people might be eating to what they're practicing and everything else and stuff like that. So, but you know, like I say, it just, to me, and I know a lot of you guys already said that when I asked that question, I said, do you think that Black Americans should show solidarity with the Haitians? A lot of y'all was like, well, no, let them take care of their own selves or whatever. So, you know, that's the general consensus. It seems like a lot of people are saying right now. I just had a problem with the fact that people are trying to pin this off on Black people when the man running for president up there, Trump, ain't Black. You know, Trump ain't Black, and all those media reports that was coming out of that city in Ohio, those weren't Black people as well either. So don't put the blame and don't point the finger at Black Americans. Black Americans had nothing to do with it. And like I told the last gentleman in the space we had when we were talking about you know, we were talking about immigration and stuff, and he was Haitian cat from Florida, and he was talking about, and I was like, well, wait a minute now. Let's not forget that it was Black people in Florida that always sat up here and tried to support the actual Haitian immigrants coming here. When we saw the actual way you guys, a double standard that they were being treated as compared to the Cubans as well too. So you can't put that all off on Black Americans as well too. But go ahead, Trouble, you got it. DJ, I see you got your hand up as well too.
I don't think that I agree with the common consensus of not aligning necessarily like that. I don't think we should pile on at the same time though. I think for the most part, why it's always flipped on Black Americans is because for the most part, like I stated before, we're loud, we're boisterous, we got jokes, we snap, crackle, and we pop when we speak on something, and I think we have more power than we realize that we do. When you look at it from a cultural position from around the world, most people are from all nations are copying what looks like Black culture, whether it comes to our speech, our swag, our lingo, our this, our that, our music, our everything. So to a certain degree, that would make us leaders. And so it hurts more when it comes from somebody that you secretly look up to or you look up to. And I think a lot of these groups secretly look up to us to a certain degree. So when we tap in and we ham that ass like these white folks does, it hurts a little more. That's like anybody on the street can tell you something about yourself and you're not gonna like it. But when it comes from, you know, you might not care, but when it comes from your parents, when your parents tell you the same thing, it hurts a little bit deeper. Nobody can hurt me. I've always felt like nobody can hurt me like my own people do. If, you know, somebody white was to say something to me, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It might anger me or inflame me. But if my own people was to do it, it will hurt me just that much more deeper because it's actually my people. It's because I care about those people more than I care about them white folks. So I think that's the same thing when it comes to these Haitians and even the Africans and all of these other nations, is when something gets said by the white media and us black folks, you know, here online, we jump on top of it and we kind of kikiing about it and we holding conversations about it and, you know, we making posts about it. It cuts it a little bit deeper. It hurts a little bit more. So the focus becomes more on us. And so I would rather not do the piling on. I don't necessarily feel the need to put my cape on for you either, because I've waken up to a lot of things in this last year, these last few years, that allows me to see the allies of white supremacy for who they are. You all are their proxies, and I feel like all of these other nations got to get they make a wake up call. You know, so I'm not trying to put my cape on, but I'm also not trying to pile on at the same time. Also, I did hit on that Trump murder plot part 2. Let me just say this here. I feel like, and I know people feel opposite because y'all want Trump to win so bad because you don't like Kamala. I don't like neither one of them. Made it very clear. But where are they ordering these assassins from? Wish? Because these suckers can't shoot worth the damn. Because I mean, the first one didn't shoot. I mean, the second one, you would think if there's really a murder plot against this food, the second one that come through gonna have better aim than the first one. Like y'all must be ordering off the Wish app or something, because these suckers are just, you know, they not getting the job done. Like, I mean, what we doing here?
Hey, Troy, but you know they're not professionals. Those are like, you know, private. Like, trust me, if the government send an assassin after you, you're dead. These are like private citizens trying to do that stuff.
I know, but they are like, you know, people are all on the net like, oh, the Democrats, these evil Democrats are sending them. Nah, because I can never more believe, you know, Bill and Hillary, they targets would have got, because all of their targets got. So if it was the Democrats sending somebody out there, they'd have sent somebody, you know what I'm saying? They got a little bit of paper. They'd have sent somebody, you know, not off the Wish app. You know, they'd have went straight to Smith & Wesson website, got somebody who could do it. You know, they'd have went to the National Assassins Association, you know, the underground world, wherever that's located at. But, you know, I just don't feel like nobody really trying to murder Trump. I feel like Trump is doing this on the back end to, you know, make himself, you know, garner a little bit of sympathy for himself. But, you know what I'm saying? Get y'all. All I'm saying is get an assassin that didn't come from Wish or Timu or whatever one of them little back-ended alleys y'all get them from. That's all.
Thank you, Miss Trouble. And I forgot to say, guys, for those that can support on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. $Newstoter, $Newstoter. You can also subscribe and become a member on the website. You can support us monthly for as little as $1.75 a month. That's up in the actual Jumbotron. And for those on YouTube, it's on the actual screen, the actual link to the customer portal. It only takes about a minute to go ahead and create an account. So let me go ahead and get to Miss Rella. Rella, what's going on with you now? You decided to come up late towards the end. Rella, what's up?
Because I was with my boys at practice. So.
Oh, okay. You did. So you had some little ones playing balls. Okay. So shout out to you, Rella.
Huh?
Say shout out to you and the young men playing ball.
Yes, my sons, their little selves we got them in football, so they're excited. Shout out to you too, Newstoter, and shout out to the family. Trouble. I was trying to get up myself. I was sitting here dying. I swear, my sister's gonna always bring that fire. And what's up, Black Pressure? And I'm not sure Chubby is. Hey, Original, DJ, and Professor into the room. Listen.
What's up?
All I'm gonna say is The Haitians eating cats and dogs. Now, I don't agree if you picking up the neighbor's animals, if they got a collar with a name tag on it, don't eat them. Okay? They belong to somebody. And the bird situation, I think the National Wildlife Service. Yes, they actually came out and said the guy that was holding a bird, it was a bird that got hit by a car, but nobody can confirm, if he was Haitian or not, and they don't even know if that happened in Springfield, or they said it might not have happened in Springfield. So, I'm in the same mindset of whether or not Haitians are eating cats and dogs, if it's your feline or the neighbor's feline. That's not going to stop me from using my cognitive brain to figure out the fact that the Republicans ain't said ish about Black Americans specifically in their bills that they're going to do for you. So all of the PSYOP, and we saw how they treated them. And I was wondering where all them Haitians went at the border after they used all them whips and horses to beat their ass behind, at the border when they first came over. And then I was like, what did they do with them Haitians? They got rid of them people in 3 days. So now we know where they went. They put them on them charter buses and bust them all to Ohio. I'm going to say this. Voodoo is a spiritual, cultural religion. They call it voodoo in many different cultures, just like Trouble mentioned. The History Channel actually did a documentary about why people have a taboo about voodoo, because you have people who practice. They do practice. They pretty much abuse spirituality, and it's crazy because as someone who is very, very, very connected, I feel like if I pray over you, or I pray for you, or I pray to protect myself, I might not call it voodoo, because my religion as being a Christian doesn't say that I'm practicing voodoo. But if you read the Bible talked about how there was signs and wonders and things happening, and they called it different things. So you're dealing in the spiritual realm, and the terminologies are just changed because of the culture. I don't speak French, right? And I speak American, the United States English, not the Queen's English. And they also practice other forms of spiritual warfare. Newstoter folks know this heavily. That's why they made Arm and Buff Blair and all these different situationships, because they were pulling from Black people, melanated people, spirituality to actually dibble and dabble and mess with stuff that they're not supposed to mess with. The problem with, I think, us is that we might have had tribes, even in different cultures, maybe using voodoo against one another versus against the people who were coming to colonize them. I do agree with that. And then on top of that, we never followed up with our, with our prayer, or with whether or not whatever spirituality you decide to use to go after the people who are trying to, or continuously try to oppress us. They followed up with it with guns and all kind of stuff. So they had weaponry and all this other stuff. So if they was praying and practicing spirituality, they followed up with it. It was like, I hope we make it, and they did. What if we did the same?
Yep.
And then the second thing, I'm sorry, my sister tried to call me. And the second thing is that I am of the mindset of I don't have to help you, but I'm definitely not going to pile on. I don't agree with, I think I heard somebody say, well, Trump is going to lose and this, that, and the third. These white folks was not caring whether or not they won or lose. They don't even have us in mind. And then the second issue I have with it is that they always pick melanated people, Black people, to utilize that cart to practice their damn hatred for us. And then they try to somehow pit us against the other melanated people as if we don't got no sense. Because we know language barriers happen. The Haitians' language barriers, along with the other immigrants' language barriers, cognitively is off as hell. Like, you'll tell them something about oppression here, and they will be like, we just don't, we don't deal with that. We don't worry about that. Well, that's why you're getting plundered, because you're not worried about it, or you don't talk about it, or you have not been able to label and use your voice against what's happening to you. That's why people do not like Black Americans, because we know how to communicate using English. We know how to use our voice powerfully. You see how my tones, my octaves go up and down? We can do that. That's actually a form of spirituality too, if you didn't know that. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and be talking about, well, if we don't talk about the Haitians, that somehow Trump going to lose. Fuck Trump and JD. Oh, sorry, Newstoter.
Language.
Forget Trump. Forget Trump and JD Vance. They literally are nothing but demons in skin, trying to win over a position to roar over power for their benefit. They haven't given you nothing from their 1 to 10 days. And if JD Vance, as a running mate, as a vice president, gets into office, he's not going to have no power, because the Congress would still be the ones passing bills, not him. And then what was the other thing? Let me see. Haitians, hate rumors. Oh, the Venezuelans. They quickly moved on from that, didn't they, y'all? What happened to the Venezuelans? They eat animals too. They ain't talking about them. They eat animals, chop off heads. I've been seeing all kind of crazy videos coming up and down the timeline. Burning people. What happened to that? And they sure do have a problem with these people and their pets. But ain't nobody talked about these white folks got people stuffed behind 615 bodies stuffed behind a jail in Mississippi, or how they was taking people's hearts and eating them. Nobody's talking about that. Huh? But we talking about cats and dogs because the Haitians is 2020. Now, should the Haitians be here? No. They need to really be in their country and help building up their country. Now, Bill and Hillary need to carry their pasty selves back over to Haiti and build that country up, because they plundered it and took that money. If we were in office and had control, I would have sent every white person back through slavery to rebuild them countries that they plundered over, because they're the reason why it happened. It's called accountability. You're making all this stuff happen and then turning around want to use the cultural differences between Black American descendants, the Negro people, and these other people, and then somehow we got to play whose morality is the worst. Well, we're civilized. I'm not saying they're not. Well, okay, they really ain't, because I don't eat cats. Well, hell, we don't know if you just stopped eating Chinese food this year, you might have had some cat. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, the Chinaman is collecting dogs and stuff too. They got caught in the van full of dog meat, and it wasn't even cooled, but nobody said nothing about that. So I'm just saying, let's be realistic. They're trying to take our eyes off of the focus of what's going on with what they're trying to do. And at the end of the day, I don't care for the Democratic Party. I don't care for who the choice is right now with the Republican Party. I want somebody to do what they say the hell they're going to do. And judging by the 435 seats that are up this November in 49 days now, if you don't vote these people out of office that have been keeping you hostage in the Congress and the Senate, it don't matter what president get in there. Okay? It's not, because they all work together. Kamala has had a bipartisan cohort working with her, because majority of the House and the Senate is Republican. I've said this before, and people be thinking I'm just talking out the side of my head. Okay? So, Black majority state, shout out to you. Shout out to the movement. And we need to get on the good foot it's up and it's stuck when you know and start to learn about how the securities government set aside and start to work as a collective. And if you ain't on that, I don't know what else to tell you. Cats and dogs is not going to be the end all be all right now. That's not even, no. But these Venezuelans with these guns, guess what? The Mexican mafia was noted by the FBI and the Southern Poverty Law Center as being the reason why Black Americans have been pushed out of California and our numbers dropped, because they were targeting Black Americans specifically. That was dropped by the FBI and the Southern Poverty Law Center. So you worried about cats and dogs? I'm worried about these folks that got guns and they actually doing stuff, making stuff happen, and people disappear. And none of them are disappearing for their actions. So,
all right.
I'll land there.
Thank you, Miss Rella. Appreciate you. And once again, shout out to your boys playing ball. Let me give a shout out to Miss Goddess Michelle for her contribution on Cash App. I'm going to go ahead and get to Original. I'm going to go ahead and get to, I see Black Majority State up here, DJ, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to close this thing out for the night, everybody. So let me go ahead and get to you, Original, real quick. Couple minutes in there, and we get the Black, and then we're going to get DJ, and we're going to close it out.
Newstoter, check your DM.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just want to say this real quick, Newstoter. You know, as far as the Haitians, you know, we can't trust them. What was that guy, Z.I. Zoe? Now, he's been out here talking very derogatory about Black America. He came in this space, he wanted to sound like he was understanding and this, that, and whatever. But then now he's saying all kind of pejorative stuff about us. We can't trust them. We don't know what they're going to do from one day to the next. But they want to touch. But they think that we are supposed to come out here and defend them. No, I'm not defending you. You've already. What did our great court laureate tell us, Maya Angelou? When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. That's just like these old degenerate people running for the White House. I saw a space where Marcel it was some kind of gathering for Donald Trump, and I think it was the governor of South Dakota, one of them, Dakota State. He asked her about, you know, reparations for Black people, and he used the term freedmen, and she started talking about freedom and trying to turn it into this, that, and whatever. All these people do this. That old degenerate Kennedy, when Vicki Dillard and that panel of Black folks asked him about reparations, he said that if you're looking for someone to do what you want, that he wasn't the candidate for you. Well, why do you think people vote for folks to get something? These people, these white, it don't matter what these white folks' political or religious beliefs are. The woman, they hate Black Americans. I can't speak for these other folks because they seem to snuggle up to them and want to get close to them. So they're on their own. But I'm just saying this, I'm not voting for any of them. From top to bottom, I'm writing a lineage-based preparation on my ballot. And I'll land.
Yeah, I just see Trouble just hit me up with a DM, and apparently your boy Diddy's been arrested by what was it, the Feds, Trouble? Yeah, TMZ reporting it. Yeah. Yikes. I remember months ago when we had that space, and I said when he went ahead and he did that he went ahead and settled with Cassie, and I was like, well, I thought then and there that was going to probably be the end of him. Now I said, well, he didn't settle with Cassie after a couple of days of saying he wasn't going to do this and that or whatever, and he settled, and it's just been since he settled, it's just been one thing after another with him. So I don't know.
You know who's gonna sweat through their sheets tonight?
Who was that?
Jay-Z. Every 90s rapper.
Why everybody always throw Jay-Z name in it when it's got like why everybody throw Jay-Z name in it when we talking about Diddy? Like it's like Jay-Z minding his own, whether y'all like him or not, Jay-Z minding his own bit. He ain't got nothing to do with this.
He's a good guy. But I mean if they come at Puffy and say, hey, this the numbers you're looking at, unless you play the game, you think you're not gonna play?
Protect Foxy Brown.
Right. I'm not. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get the black majority state. I'm gonna let Black go ahead. Black, you got it.
Okay. Shout out to everybody in space. Newstoter, of course. Space is glitching. So, like, man, I can only see 5 people in here, whatever. I was in it before and I couldn't request the mic, but let me go through the title, Trump Murder Plot 2. So, the things that I've seen was that the shooter was never close enough and he never had Trump in his sights. So that's something that makes me question whether or not it was in fact a true assassination attempt, if he even actually was able, if he didn't have him in his sights, then what was it? Another report I saw where they said that the Secret Service had fired at him, but he's still alive. Obviously, we've seen those pictures. So my question is, did he even ever fire his weapon? That part, I don't know.
No, they said he didn't.
He didn't. Okay, so that really, to me, doesn't qualify as an assassination attempt. The other thing was the Secret Service, they did a press conference, and the white guy was a bucket full of words, as Moko says, Brother Moko says, but the translation is that they need more money. They want more money because they're going to have to expand their operations. And that anytime you see agencies using events to expand their budgets and their operational capacity, I really am very skeptical of all of it when it comes to a situation such as that. Because even in Butler, the narrative between the local police and the Secret Service was in conflict, whereas Secret Service is saying they're supposed to do this, and local police, who I actually believe more than the Secret Service, are saying no, we had this and they were supposed to do that. So it may be that this agency has decided that they're going to try to expand their power and they're going to use this situation in a way to do it. That's the most logical answer for me. Venezuelan gangs, it is what it is. It is going to be what it's going to be, and they don't care. Haitians and pet rumors. So, man, I was like, where's Eartha Kitt when we need her, on all her catatonic phraseology? I was actually cracking up as I was listening to the space earlier because I just couldn't get that out of my head. I think this is actually really hilarious to me, for what it's worth. The crashing into vehicles and buildings, a trash can.
Uh-oh. Have we lost the
this issue because it really does put public safety in danger. I watched a 25-minute video there and interviewed a bunch of folks, and there's a black guy who's running for mayor, black American, who his advocacy is against.
Yeah, right. We gonna start having some technical difficulties over here on the Twitter space. Hopefully, let's get it back in here.
Filled up with immigrants, illegals, whatever you want to call them, and then they tell those people, pound sand, you got to find another place to live. And the problem is the rents are going up so quickly that the locals can't afford to live in that general area anymore. So that's another dangerous issue as we're entering fall and headed into winter. The one of those secret security agent, one of the higher upper echelons of them, is also a Haitian/American, which is kind of curious because the way this story came together with Trump at the debate. I think the issue is this: the Black Pressure Chamber or Black Pressure, had talked about their voodoo or their religion's working better than ours or whatever the case may be. And then I think Ms. Relic kind of matched that up with the weaponry. I think really what it is the level to which people are willing to go. And even in this conversation, what I've gathered from it is, I don't know how long I've been on this app with these spaces where people are talking about the immigrants are a problem. We got to delineate. Immigrants are a problem. Gotta delineate. Call ICE, delineate. Immigrants are a problem. And then, as soon as something happens to a specific group of people that kind of look like us, have a similar skin tone, people start questioning whether or not they should defend those people or not. And so I think that's the difference. Whereas Europeans will slaughter anybody and everybody until they bow down. And it's a permanent bowing down. Once you bow down, you're never getting up again. Their hand practice forgiveness over and over and over again, no matter how much people have harmed us, no matter what they do, no matter what they haven't done to help us in any way, shape, or form, we continue to seek ways to forgive other people. And I think that is the reason why things are the way that they are, because not so much that we got to be sociopathic slaughterers, but I think if we just stop forgiving people, really get hyper-focused on our own personal issues as a collective, we will go much farther, much faster, because I don't believe we have time to really stop and smell the dead kittens, or however you want to phrase that. I think we really got to get super focused to the point where none of these distractions even or a thing that we even bother learning about or want to talk about. And then I think we will actually be able to counter the slaughtering sociopathic colonizers, because they too themselves seem to get distracted in different things in different ways. I think Trump, I looked at 2016, he got 10 million more votes in 2020, which is phenomenal, but so did the Democrats. And the Democrats actually got almost 15 million more votes. So Trump has to do that again, another 10 million to win. And I'm still very curious as if that's going to happen. I think there's going to be more people that vote this time. So, I wish him the best of luck. I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference between Kamala or Trump for anything that's going on in my existence and most of us, other than there may be more immigration, but I think Trump is legal, she's illegal. So, you're splitting hairs when it comes to that. The country has decided that they need immigration, that they need full-grown adults to come into the country. So we could spend, another 5-10 years talking about it, but it's happening and it's not going to stop. It's not going to slow down. I really think that even outside of Black majority states, none of that really matters. But I think we got to start talking about how do we either engage these people, interact with these people, figure out how to develop some type of coalition or some type of peace or whatever, some understanding, or we just simply starve them out in every way, shape, and form that we possibly can. But those are probably the only two options where we stand today. And I don't think it's going to change. The last thing I want to say, my best friend, their neighbor was a cat lady. And they had hundreds of cats, hundreds. I mean, the backyard was fenced in, hundreds of cats all throughout the house. They never really were in the front, which is interesting. But they used to cook those cats. And the reason I know this, and I mean, years of me, hanging out, his family owned that house probably since before he was born, and they still own it today. But they would cook the cats, and the smell is it's a very unique smell that you can never forget. And they didn't fry them or bake them; they were boiling them. And I don't know if they were eating what they boiled or they were feeding the cats to the other cats. I really cannot tell you, but I know that smell, and it makes me almost want to vomit thinking about it. I can smell it as I'm talking about it. It's a very putrid odor, and it used to fill up their house and the neighbor's house and really the neighborhood as much as that was possible. And they were an older couple. I can't remember their ethnicity or anything like that. I don't know if they were foreign or whatever, but it was a mixed neighborhood. But yeah, people do what they do, and it is what it is. And we never saw them taking groceries into their house. I hate to say that, but we never saw them grocery shopping or anything like that. And they barely came outside. So it is what it is. People do what they do. But God bless the Black Americans living in Springfield, Ohio. Because for me, that's the conversation that we should be having. The brother who's running for mayor, the veteran who was featured in that piece, who can't get through health services because there's 9 of them for every one of us. If I was going to have the conversation, I would be focusing on our people. So I'll end with that.
All right. Appreciate that, Black. DJ, go ahead real quick, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to end this space for tonight. We've been going for almost 2.5 hours, so that's about long enough. So go ahead and if anything you and Professor want to add, this Puffy thing, I'm sure this is just really getting started. So we'll see exactly how this thing plays out in the upcoming days as well too. But yeah, for those listening, they arrested him. So we'll see exactly what's what. What you said, DJ?
I said, what they get Puffy on? You said they arrested him?
Yeah, I didn't read the article.
No charges right now. They haven't listed the charges yet, DJ.
But this comes off the heels of that last case he lost against the guy. So he lost that case, and the guy who was suing him for the sexual assault, that he won the case. It was like $100 million.
Yeah, I think, but the Fed's been investigating him for a minute, so there's no telling exactly how many charges he may have, and what exactly. For the fact of the matter, when they raided his house and all of that, so you don't know exactly. Who knows exactly what's going on or whatever. So we're gonna see exactly what's what. But I'll go ahead and DJ and let you and Professor say something real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and close this thing out.
Well, the article is saying that it was appears that it was an action taken in connection with the ongoing criminal investigation into alleged sex trafficking and other offenses that led to search warrants being issued at his homes in Beverly Hills in Miami. So that's all they're saying so far.
All right, y'all. So the Diddy is going to be another space. No Diddy, okay? No Diddy for the next space, whenever that happens. But anyway, all I'm going to say on that is these folks need to get up out of this country. But unfortunately, like Black Majority said, we are too late. And I said it earlier, family. We did this to ourselves in some aspects, voting continuously for a party that never did anything for us. So this is the results of voting for Democrats, motherfuckers, excuse my French.
Yeah, please, y'all, with the language, but go ahead.
And this is what you get. And so this is where we are, family. And like Black Majority said, you only got 2 options here. Try to find a way to deal with this mess, or we got to try to get people into the Black Majority states. There you go.
All right, DJ, go ahead. You got it real quick.
I guess whatever was said. I got kicked out of space, man. Tellers gonna tell it, and yeah, I agree with Black state majority. We just need to be about ourselves, so we should be actually contacting the folks out there in Ohio. But I got family out there. I kind of talk to certain people that's from there, or I have had conversations. I don't know. I feel like a lot of our folks Midwest kind of like super sleep, like snoring. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of work to do. And just to answer your question too, Tota, yeah, get these people up out of here, because it ain't about Trump mentioning the Haitian this or Venezuelan that. Everybody gotta go, bro, because this harms your kids obtaining a job at places like McDonald's when they turn 16, old enough to get a permit. Say for them next 2 years until they 18. Excuse me. Now they got enough money to get a car or to pay their way through school. So if all the others that are coming in here illegally, for the most part, they don't gotta worry about that, because they are giving the jobs over us now. Also, many of us up in Brick City, myself included, is facing a housing crisis. the Hispanic Latinos. They own all the rental properties. They the managers. They the superintendents. They the porters. They the brokers. They the realtors. They not renting to us anymore. So I'm about to tell about New Jersey. It looks like so. Someone did just mention that before too. To the point, like they're pricing us out so bad. You cannot afford to live in a town, city, state, or whatever it is you were born in. It's really over with, and we pretty much failed up here in the tri-state. But our folks won't be honest about that. Keep it real. Later, alligator.
All right. So, guys, that will conclude tonight's broadcast space. Appreciate everybody coming in. We'll see what's up. I'm not sure if we're doing one tomorrow or Wednesday night, but we may have to do something on this Diddy thing. So everybody just look for the notifications when we do get it. We do need you guys to retweet it out. Let everybody know. Thank you to the speakers, the listeners, and everybody who came up in the space tonight. Support as always. Thanks to my people on YouTube. All my people on YouTube, make sure y'all share the night's broadcast as well too. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and call it a night, and we'll see you guys either Tuesday or Wednesday night. So peace.